Every week in the competition, contestants fought hard to remain in the competition. But we may have reached the most crucial juncture at this point before the grand finale. This is the Justify Your Inclusion episode, and that means that these contestants have that one final opportunity to justify why they should make it into the top 4 before the grand finale of the top intern. And that would mean that they would have to prove that they are resilient, they would have to prove that they're strong and tough enough. And all that they've learned in the last couple of weeks has really played a role in who they've become eventually. This is the top intern. It's good to have you join us this afternoon. My name is Bella Mundi.
Welcome to the top intern. Today's task will challenge our contestants on media and public speaking, crisis management, and ethical decision making. Joining our esteemed faculty is a multiple award-winning public relations and communications expert, Cassandra Chum Ampafo, currently serving as the head of the PR unit of the Ghana Education Service.
My expectation for this particular task is to see a good communication, crisis communication plan. I want to see the outline clearly where they are stating their objectives. They are talking about their stakeholders, letting us know the communication channel, and then giving us key messages. And so, again, I also want to see their composure, because it is not about the content that you are to deliver, but how you compose yourself in the midst of crisis is also key in, again, building trust for your organization. So I expect to see the calmness, the face-to-face interaction, and how they handle their question and answer techniques, because definitely they are addressing people, and so questions will come. And so their composure in handling the questions are also what I want to see in this task.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs de la presse, l'évaluation des prix, les estimés clients et nos employés dédiés. Je m'appelle Belinda Deladem et je suis responsable pour les relations publiques pour Sky Airways. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge your presence once again, and I'm here to address the current ongoing allegation against our company's financial reports over the past 3 years. I would like to say that Sky Airways prides itself in consistency, loyalty, and transparency, and we just want to assure you once again that this is not the time we are going back on our track record. However, we want to let you understand also that we've launched an investigation into this particular incident, and we are taking some immediate actions. Some of our immediate actions are independent audit and full compliance. We have employed the services of external auditors to run through our financial reports for us. And once it's ready, we'll furnish you with the details. Secondly, we have a board-level oversight. Out of our board of directors, we form another committee to oversee this particular investigation. We also have regulatory cooperation. That's to say we are working closely with corporation institutes to take their advice. Also, we have internal policy review that we are strengthening our internal financial controls to prevent situations like this. And just to assure you once again, our employees, the company is not shutting down. We are not going anywhere. You are safe. Your jobs are intact. We are not laying you off anytime soon. And to our stakeholders, we want to ensure you once again that from this time onwards, there's going to be a lot of transparency in our financial reports. We'll be giving you quarterly reports based on your investment with our airline. And to our cherished customers, we want to tell you that your trust in our company has not been taken for granted at all. We'll continue to be loyal to you and maintain a lot of loyalty. And we understand that this situation is a challenge. However, it's also an opportunity for Sky Airline to demonstrate its commitment to ethics and accountability. We appreciate your patience and your time. Thank you. The floor is open for questions.
Will Sky Airways leadership team be held accountable for any financial misrepresentation?
Yes, please. Just as I said, it's part of our immediate, and I also did mention that if we should see any wrongdoing going on, we'll hold whoever is responsible or reliable to that. So yes, we are taking full responsibility. Hi, faculty. Good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, Deladem. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
We are
Very
fine.
well, thank you very much.
Fine.
So, we've seen your press conference, and let me commend you on a few things that I picked up. I think I loved your confidence engaging with the press, or let's say the media. And then also, I think you took what in communication in terms of PR, acknowledging the media, stating your awareness of the issue, then going with an assurance, and then, of course, the remedial actions. So that I must commend you, and I think I loved your confidence.
Thank you.
In particular. But I was a little confused.
Okay.
Your stakeholders are normally very separated. Either you're dealing with the board, the shareholders, the media, or colleagues. But I heard you address all of them. So I wasn't sure whether you were addressing an external press media or you had colleagues and other stakeholders in their midst.
Yes. Okay. So apparently, because it was a public allegation, it was actually a whistleblower from our company that put our financial reports out to the public. So obviously, it has put our shareholders, customers, employees, everybody is quite agitated. So I'm generally addressing, first of all, the public and reassuring our shareholders as well that whatever they are hearing in the press, we are ready to address it inward, internally as well, aside the press statement that I've done.
I want to find out at what stage was this press conference held of your plan? At what stage of your plan was this press conference held?
Okay, so sincerely, I would say that it's at the stage of we, first of all, clearing our reputation to the public. Irrespective of whatever is going on, we have to come out to say something to the public before we go back and then take further decisions.
Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rosemary, and I'm here as a PRO for Sky Airways. And I'm here today to address the alleged discrepancies regarding our financial reports, including the leaked internal documents which have been published by a major news outlet. The company is fully cooperating the regulatory authorities in their investigation and has also initiated an independent internal audit to ensure full transparency and accountability. Sky Airways remains financially stable with strong assets and a committed leadership focused on a long-term growth. Sky Airways has consistently maintained a steady and healthy profit margins over the years. The financial data in question, which remains and always would be confidential and accessible to only the appropriate internal people. We, Sky Airways, take these allegations very seriously, and as such, we shall pursue legal actions against the appropriate person for such libelous statements. We understand the concerns of our employees, shareholders, and our customers. As such, our stakeholders can be confident that their investment is secure, and we are taking decisive steps to strengthen their financial oversight and governance. As a token of our gratitude, we are launching an exclusive loyalty initiative, including discounts and a reward program, as a way of saying thank you to our loyal customers. Sky Airways has built its reputation on integrity and transparency and will continue to uphold these values. We appear and appreciate the trust of our customers, employees, and investors, and would update as soon as possible and as the information are available. Thank you.
How would you reassure investors and customers that the company remains stable and trustworthy?
With the investors, we are opening our financial records to them as and when they ask for it. There will be financial transparency and accountability. And to our loyal customers, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be initiating an exclusive loyalty program where they can access their discounts and their rewards as long as they've been with us. Good afternoon, faculty.
Good afternoon, Rosemary. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
We are good.
Very well, thank you. So, Rosemary, The press conference you had, was it strictly media or you had other stakeholders?
It was strictly media, but since it's media, it would be aired on various news channels, radio channels, so I had to address both stakeholders, all stakeholders, including customers and the shareholders.
All right, so thank you. A few observations for me. I think I like the fact that you did acknowledge the issue at stake. And I think I heard a little bit about an assurance. But I have some comments that I think maybe going forward, and if you were to find yourself as a real PR person, then you can. You know, when you're facing the media, they look for a certain composure. I didn't see enough. It's a serious matter, but at the same time, you need to come with a certain kind of warmth. I didn't get that feeling, and usually that can drive one or two media persons who want to be a little antagonistic. So I think your posturing, you need to manage that, and then also realize that you're gesturing with especially your left hand. So this is something that you need to be very conscious of. So you just remain very calm and composed. It's something that I picked up from your delivery.
My few comments. I really agree with what Nana said, because I had also indicated here your posture. You looked a bit jittery. You didn't really look confident, and I did not feel or see the calmness, and that is what you need to address your audience. It is so, so important. It tells a lot about your credibility, the institution you represent, and then you gain trust, or you regain the trust that you have lost. So you take note of that anytime you are addressing them. Yes. Lastly, let me ask you this ethical question. Will you publicly disclose the individuals directly responsible for the financial misrepresentation of your airways?
No, I'm not going to publicly do that, because morally it might single them out in the company, and that will really make them the subject of harassment in the company. Also, the Whistleblowers Act also protects them from all this. So in doing that, it's morally wrong, and also to be an illegal thing to do, singling out or letting the public know who the whistleblower was.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Thank you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for taking time to join us today. My name is Jomona Mokobuchi. I'm the Public Relations Manager for Sky Airways Airline. We at Sky Airways Airline acknowledge the recent news reports regarding alleged discrepancies in our financial statements over the last 3 years. We take these allegations seriously, hence we are cooperating with the regulatory authorities, that is the Financial Intelligence Center and the Economic and Organized Crime Office, with their investigations. We've also initiated an internal but independent investigation to see how far this goes. We want to assure you that we will take corrective actions if we uncover any wrongdoings, and we would also make sure that anyone who is held responsible will be held accountable as well. While these processes are ongoing, we want to assure our valued stakeholders and our shareholders that Sky Airways Airline remains financially strong and our long-term financial growth stays intact. Your hard work and dedication is what makes us the leading airline, and we want to make sure that your jobs are intact. Our customers, your unwavering trust and support over the years means a lot to us. This situation does not impact our flight operations, our safety conduct, and our customer service. We continue to provide with you the high quality customer service we've been providing over the years. Our customer service team are always ready for your questions or any concerns. As stated earlier, we would give you regular updates as at when the investigation processes are ongoing. And then we are taking internal measures to prevent such occurrences in the future. Sky Airways Airline remains your trusted and reliable airline. Thank you very much. We'll take some questions from here.
Okay, so I would like to ask you some few questions.
Okay.
Will Sky Airways leadership team be held accountable for any financial misrepresentation?
As at now, investigations are still ongoing, and as at when the full investigation is done, we will let you know the steps we are taking afterwards. Good afternoon, faculty members.
Good afternoon, Ajomo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Very well, thank you. Let me first share my, commendation on the video. There are a few things I picked that I thought was great for a public relations person. When you appeared in front of the media team, you were calm. So it gave me a sense of somebody who was confident about what you're about to present. And then also, I think your composure throughout the session was reassuring. And that's something that if you should go into this profession, you should hold on to that. And then another observation I made, I like the way you swept through the various statements from acknowledging the issue, from just about sharing the fact that whilst the external investigation is going on, you are also instituting an internal investigation. And then finally, I think what you assured the media was the fact that should you find anything untoward, the necessary action. And I like the fact that you didn't name the action as in a legal action, but you said the necessary, actions would be taken. And I think finally what I picked that I liked was during the Q&A, you were very clear to stay focused on message, that the investigation is not over. When it is over, we will come back to you. So that's a very good ploy by a PR person, because you haven't gotten to the recovery part or the resolution part. You don't know what. So I think I enjoyed your whole session. So you can see that I don't really have much to query you on.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I also liked your composure. When I watched the video, it was like you are a pro already, because the way you spoke eloquently, you were calm and all of that. Few things that I want to find out. Yes. You mentioned that you'll be launching an internal investigation. I would want to find out, so how will you ensure that the airline's operation continue uninterrupted during the investigation period?
Right. We are not just organizing an internal investigation, but independent. So it's not being influenced by the people in the company as well. Apart from that, we are going to boost our employees, their morale, and ensure that they continue working throughout the process.
What exactly do you mean by boosting their morale? I need to know. Okay.
So before the press statements came out and after, we would speak with the employees and address their concerns, listen to them, and let them know that this is what is going on, give them updates. Another thing that we would do is that would also help them know what is on the ground, so that when they are approached on the issue, they'll be able to answer those issues as well.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
But well done.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
The faculty is taking notes, analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of our contestants. Are they impressed? Will they be impressed? Will it be an easy breeze for these contestants, or will they have to struggle to make it into the top 4? Well, again, this is the episode that helps them to justify their inclusion in the top 4 before the grand finale of the Top Intern.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. My name is Isaac Amakumensa, PRO of Sky Airways. I'm here to respond to the recent expose of my company's involvement in revenue inflation by some major news outlets. At Sky Airways, we take the allegations of revenue inflation, which is also referred to as creative accounting, very seriously. And we are deeply concerned about the consequences this may have on our stakeholders and the image on our corporate governance. We understand the importance of transparency and accountability to our business practices. I would first of all apologize to management, board of directors, and shareholders for the unethical leak of financial documents to the public without the certification of management and our finance office. I understand that this is a breach of financial confidentiality and can lead to the damage of our hard-earned reputation acquired over the years. You don't need to know who did it because it serves as a wake-up call to management and board of directors to enhance their supervision of the finance and auditing office, with some of the information also corresponding with our internal financial records though. I know this is the work of our corporate opponents and competitors in the aviation industry to bring us down. But I am optimistic that with our strong corporate governance practices, Sky Airways will be vindicated of this financial scandal allegation. We want to assure our customers, employees, and investors that we are committed to cooperating fully with the regulating authorities' investigations. We will conduct our own internal review to determine the facts and take swift and decisive actions to address any wrongdoing. We value the trust of our stakeholders and have placed in us and are committed to regaining it. I want to ensure the general public and all major stakeholders of this great corporation that Sky Airways will not end up like the defunct Enro Corporation involved in the famous creative accounting scandal in 2001. Thank you.
How would you reassure investors and customers that the company remains stable and trustworthy?
With our strong corporate governance structures, we assure customers. I am very optimistic that we will be vindicated by this allegation. This is an allegation, and allegation remains allegation unless it is proven guilty. So our customers shouldn't panic at all. They should have hope in us, and we will come out. Hello, faculty. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Isaac. How are you?
I'm doing well by God's grace.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Isaac.
Yes,
Hey, watching your video, I was a bit shaken. Number one, thank you for being brave enough to go through the exercise.
Thank you.
But if you're a public relations officer for an organization that is managing media crisis, I was a little concerned about the way the whole press briefing went.
Okay.
Number one, I was a bit surprised that you were apologizing to shareholders and stuff on air. Shareholders have invested in the organization, so they are more, you treat them differently, almost like internal clients and management. But I wonder why you will be apologizing to management and shareholders at a press briefing. You are part of the internal fabric of an organization. So why would you be externally apologizing to management? So this is not the time to be apologizing publicly to management.
That was a strong-worded press conference there. I indicated strong-worded. You were too serious. I mean, the language, when you are communicating, you have various stakeholders, you know. But I want to, what people should also know that in communication or PR is not about the big English. You need to calm down, speak the simple English for everyone to understand. I didn't find that in your delivery. I mean, the content was so complex, and I was asking myself, certain terms that you were using, how were they able to, or how were you expecting them to understand?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here. I stand before you today not just as the public relations officer for Skyways Airlines, but also as an individual who understands and values deeply your trust as investors, stakeholders, employees, and also our loyal customers. The recent allegation regarding our financial reporting being fabricated to attract investors into our firm are serious, and we understand the disappointment, concern, and uncertainty they have caused. Let me be absolutely clear. We have taken full responsibility for what has happened, and we are committed to full transparency as we work through this situation. While the investigation is still ongoing, we recognize that errors were made, and we are fully cooperating with regulatory authorities to correct them. To our shareholders, we understand your concern about your stability of your investment, and to our employees, we also understand your concern about your job securities. Not to forget our loyal customers. We know that your trust in our foundation helps in our reputation. We acknowledge the fears of all of you. Our priority now is to correct these actions and rebuild the confidence you have in us. We have developed a structured response to address the situation, and we ensure that this will never happen again. We are conducting an internal financial review to identify and correct any irregularities. An independent auditing firm has also come on board to ensure fair, transparent assessment. Leadership accountability is very key. We are going to take and investigate all individuals involved and take the necessary actions. We are implementing stricter financial policy for our investors and increasing transparency in our reporting. Regular investor briefings will be held to provide updates on our progress. We are also launching a customer loyalty and trust building initiative to reinforce our commitment to excellence. I would once again like to assure you that our service quality is not going to be compromised. Moving forward, we are going to align our financial reports with the highest quality industry standards and a strong commitment to correcting past issues and preparing a blueprint for the future. Sky Airways promises to continue to provide updates as we move forward with our investigation. Thank you for standing with us.
Would you publicly disclose the individuals directly responsible for these operational failures?
So the individuals directly involved, when brought to book, are going to face our disciplinary committee, and anything that is going to be decided afterwards will be communicated to the public. Good afternoon, faculty.
Good afternoon, Sandra. How are you?
I'm doing well by God's grace.
You didn't ask how we were.
Merci. You know how you're doing.
We are good. We're good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
After watching your press conference, a few comments. First, well done for even taking up the exercise. I would have loved to see you a lot calmer, more confidence, because I didn't see your confidence level, and if you're facing any media or you're having a press conference, your own demeanor, your calmness, it gives a lot of assurance because you are representing an organization, you are managing some crisis. So I would have wanted to see a lot more confidence coming from, because I've seen you in other sessions and I thought you did much better then, but I didn't see so much of the confidence I wanted to see from you. Also, you did acknowledge the issue, but you danced through a little bit, because usually you want to be first, be clear that you are aware of the issue. You did. And also given an assurance and maybe ongoing investigation. I saw you dance around the flow a little bit, although in all you had the ingredients in there as to typical press conference, if there's crisis, the flow of managing, a press conference. What I want to point out to you for your own future learning is your choice of certain phrases or words. saying you take full responsibility at the initial stage versus acknowledging. Because remember, it's been thrown out into the media, not by yourself, but somebody's made it. So you do acknowledge the issue. Then also, I heard words like, we understand. I'm not sure from where you stand, you will have clear understanding of anybody's emotion. Rather, you will appreciate the fact that it would cause some concern. So I want you to consider your choice of words when you're having a press this thing, because it goes, a long way.
Let me find out. You have an objective for the press conference, right? So what was your overall crisis communication objective?
Our overall crisis communication objective is to, first of all, reassure investors, and then also to our customers and our employees, reassurance that our quality services will not be compromised, and also we are doing our best to put in decisive actions that's going to help our airline's reputation.
Exactly. So I like the reputation bit, because that should be your key thing to address your organization's reputation. It is so, so important. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Thank you very much, Sandra. That would be all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen, the press, customers, employees, and investors of Sky Airways Airline. The issue at hand before us is that there are discrepancies in our revenue numbers. But we want to assure all our stakeholders, our employees, our investors, and everybody involved in this case that the allegations that have been labeled before us are not true. But we are also going to do our possible best to cooperate with all regulatory authorities so that all the findings that come out are duly worked on and that our names shall be cleared. The reason why I'm saying that these allegations labeled against us are not true are because of two reasons. The first one is that our investors over the years have all their informational materials and disclosure statements about what is happening in the airline company. And so I'm sure that if there were any figures that were inflated, they would have seen it before now. And also about our internal audit reports. There are no discrepancies in our financial statements. All of them are true because they are being accurately reported and audited internally and externally. And I also want to assure our employees that they should continue working with us. They should be loyal. They should trust their head of department and the board of directors that this situation is going to be solved accurately. And in all this, we want to restore our reputation. We want to rebuild our confidence in our employees and then our investors, and also prove our resilience. And so Sky Airways is what's committed to giving you the best airline services, and we are committed to this course. Thank you very much for your attention.
How do you reassure investors and customers that the company remains stable and trustworthy?
Okay, thank you very much. Some of the ways we are going to assure our customers is that we are coming up with some initiatives and campaigns to actively involve our customers and our investors. And I'm sure they are going to love it and it won't be a problem at all. Thank you. Good day to you, faculty.
Good day, Yesuto. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Nice name.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Yesuto. First and foremost, congratulations on your press conference.
Thank you very much.
A few things I noted.
Okay.
I think you exhibited calmness, which is good for a public relations person. So it exuded confidence, at least in the message that you were going to share with the press. And I think you made good eye contact as well. So those are the things that I thought right from the onset I want to commend you on. Let me also come to a few things that for a PR person, and if you have sat with the crisis management team, then it means I was a bit confused about the content of your messaging. You came out with a flat out denial about the fact that what has been published is not true. And I'll move you right to the end. And I think the reporter asked you a question that if the findings, because you also stated that there was a regulatory investigation going on. Did you mention that you're also having an in-house investigation, or you didn't mention that?
I didn't mention that, but it's actually, we had an in-house.
Based on what you shared.
Based on what I said, yes.
And it's good. There was regulatory investigations, yes, ongoing.
Yeah.
And you were asked the question that, so I've jumped 2 or 4 steps, but I'll connect it.
Okay.
That if anybody in management were to be found culpable, then you said, oh, the investigation is still ongoing and all of that. So then I come back to your first point. How would you have a flat-out denial if the investigation is still ongoing? It hasn't come to its logical conclusion. How do you come to the media and say, this is not true?
Okay.
How do you arrive at that?
Okay, so when the thing happened, when the case came out that we've been inflating our prices, we started an in-house investigation. So we published our press release within 24 hours. So when we started our in-house investigation, we got to find out that there was someone who was working closely with the finance team, and then he realized that there were some figures that were not adding up. But he also spoke with the finance officer, but he didn't get a clear explanation about what was going on, and then he just...
Spoke with who?
We don't want to mention the person's name.
No, you don't need to mention that, but who? In the scheme of, you said who spoke with who?
So the person who exposed that, the person is with the company.
All right.
Yes, please. And then the person didn't get the clarity of information, and then he just blew the whistle that we were inflating our figures. So that's what we were able to come up with.
I liked your composure as well, your calmness. I also liked your eye contact. It really showed how confident you were.
Thank you.
But I had an issue with the flat denial as well. So I indicated you're not true. And I had to go back to what the briefing were given. I had to read the scenario where a whistleblower has leaked internal documents showing that blah, blah, blah. So I was really shocked when you came to deny, because there's indeed a crisis. And I was expecting that investigation before the denial, because that should come up. Nana has said a lot about that, and so I would not delve deeper, but I hope you have gotten what exactly we were trying to put across.
Yes,
you also mentioned, you talked about reassurance, because consistently we're talking, we want to assure you, So specifically, what measures are you going to take to reassure your shareholders, your employees, and all your other stakeholders? I want you to give me the specifics.
Okay, so the specifics is about, one will be our investigations. We are still running investigations with external bodies. And then we also like to have an investors relations campaign where we'll be towards connect with our investors and give them constant press releases and updates about the investigations we are having. So those will be that.
Well, it's important to have an open communication in everything that we do, and that's where the reassurance comes in, giving timely updates of the issues, you know. Okay.
Tensions are high as these contestants each take a turn to justify the inclusion, to show to the faculty that they have learned enough to secure their spot in the grand finale. It's not an easy journey, I must say, and it will not be an easy journey even after they've made it beyond this level. But we wish them the very best. But this is the Top in 10. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Top Intern. The contestants got to work, crafting detailed press releases they believe best fits their given scenario. It's a challenge between 6 contestants, but only 4 can secure a spot in the grand finale. Let's hear the faculty's thoughts on the contestants' performances.
They had a completely different topic today, and considering the fact that all 6 of our contestants, Top in 10 contestants, are not professionals, I think they put a lot into this exercise that they were given Of course, some performed better than others. I was, particularly impressed with Jomo as a contestant for this, and also Belinda. They stood out for me. The others did, but I think I'm just looking at the overall output and what I thought went into their presentation. They all, in a way, touched on a typical flow you'd expect out of public relations, output, what you look out for at a press conference. Of course, there were some pitfalls, but that's also part of their learning, I would like to believe. So I think when I look at the fact that they are not professionals, they put their best foot forward, some better than others, but they have done a good job.
All in all, they attempted. I acknowledge the fact that they are not professionals. And so I realized that the crisis communication plan that I expected to see, that wasn't done. All 6 of them did not really give me the plan. They just went straight forward to address the audience. And in the presentation, some did well. Others did not really do well as I expected. And so, all in all, I would say that it was a good attempt. And I know with all the suggestions that we have given to them or we've shared with them, they will do better next time in dealing with crisis communication.
All right, how are you all feeling? Nervous? Oh, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. You've walked this journey for what, 10 weeks? Wow. Must be very excited. Some colleagues have not lasted this long, right? Okay. Anyway, as a faculty, we're given certain points and certain areas that we had to look out for this particular case study that you were given, and that's crisis management. So we looked at different things, how you manage the crisis, your media, public speaking, abilities, and also decision making. You all did very well. You all put in your best. I must congratulate all of you for the efforts that you put in, because you are not professionals. Exactly. But we saw some fantastic efforts that you put in. But with all competition, some will do better than others. So we are very excited as a faculty to say there are 6 of you, but of the 6 of you, Jomo was tops in this. So congratulations, Jomo. And that was followed by Belinda. You can clap for Belinda too. Oh, Belinda Deladem. Of course, there are 2 Belindas.
Oh,
and Deladem. Okay. Of course. And then also Sandra did very well. Yeah. So, well, Jomo, Sandra, and Deladem, at this stage, would you please step out?
Hi, so I'm so excited. This is the first time I'm ever standing before faculty for eviction period, and we're all quite tense. Me particularly, I didn't know what to expect because the questions were very, very technical and interesting. But thank you all for the support so far from the first episode to this episode. And yes, thank you once again. I'll see you all at the finals and expecting to see you there in person as well.
So yes, as I said, I was going to be back, and yes, I made it to the finals. I'm so grateful to everyone who has supported me to this point on Top Intern, all those who keep encouraging me, to our producers and to everyone out there. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and see you at the grand finale. Bye.
Hi everyone. I can't believe it. To be honest, I didn't expect it, but I'm so grateful. Thank you all for your support. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that this went well and I emerged the winner for this episode. I'm so grateful. Yes, we are going on to the finals. Thank you so much for your support. Please keep supporting me, and I'll put in my best at the finals. Thank you very much.
So we have the 3 out already, meaning that we have Isaac Mensah, Rosemary Edusei Sapon, and Belinda Yesuto staying for the final verdict. And Nana will do that.
Can I ask you to judge, who do you think? Today, I think we are unfortunately evicting 2 on top intern.
Wow.
So we'll have only 4 finalists left. So you've all done very well. But out of the 3 of you, Isaac, Rosemary, and Belinda, we get to save 1. Between Cassandra and I, we need to save 1. And unfortunately, 2 of you, this will be the end of your journey on top intern.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So, we get to save Belinda.
Congratulations,
Congratulations, Belinda. So, Isaac and Rosemary, unfortunately, this will be the end of the journey on top intern.
Wow, it was a big one in there. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if my name was come up for eviction. But thanks be to God, we've made it to the finals, yes. And I want to say a very big thank you to my family, to my friends, to the production crew, and to media general in general. Yes, thank you everyone, and see you at the grand finale. Bye.
Unfortunately, we didn't make it, but that is not a deterrent because I was able to go and come back into the competition. So this is just a plus for me, and I definitely know this is not the end of the road. So just thank you to everyone who supported me so far, and also to Media General for giving me this opportunity.
Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the next stage of the competition. I was evicted. But this is not the end of the road for me. There are more brighter opportunities ahead. I want to thank Media General for giving me this opportunity to this far, as well as the crew, everybody that is involved in the production. I will indeed miss them. I also want to thank my family for supporting me to this far, friends for supporting me to this far. And then don't stop following me. IXAP Enterprise. Catch me on all social media handles.
And finally, we're here, and we found out who have made it into the grand finale of this year's edition of the Top Intern on TV3. A big congratulations to all of them. And of course, unfortunately, for those who could not make it into the grand finale, it really doesn't matter because you still are big enough. You're a winner. And there's a lot you've learned that you can take with you as you explore the world of work and develop strategies for businesses or develop your own business. But to the top 4, well, the journey has just begun. And the next time we see you, we'll be crowning our ultimate winner. Who becomes the top intern for this year's edition? My name is Bella Mundi. Thank you so much for joining us. And the next time you see us, it will be the grand finale. Make sure to keep your favorite at the top. We'll see you the next time.